Rhett and Link, legends of YouTube. It's time to diagnose some of their health concerns they've had on camera. Let's get started. Pee-whoop.
We did not discuss beforehand how fast we were gonna run. And all I remember thinking was, as soon as we started running, wow, Link is really going for it. He is running as fast as he possibly can. I've gotta run, I'm gonna act like I'm filming Link while he's running. The next thing I know, Link is no longer beside me.
Oh, he fell on his scaphoid. At least that's what it looked like. Okay, here's where I make the diagnosis. Good step.
Never look away.
Good step.
That makes complete sense because the
Good
shot
step.
is so
Oh,
close up.
jagged step. So he hit the bump. He falls on a left outstretched hand. Then he rolls. He does a tuck and roll, which is actually good. The tuck and roll actually is a momentum thing, so that's something they teach actually in parkour. He's gonna have road rash on his right arm, but his left wrist is likely or potentially broken here.
I think I broke my elbow.
Oh, elbow.
It's really broken?
No, I kind of jammed it. Oh.
You messed up your side pretty good too, right?
Oh, man.
Look, there's a road rash on his arm, on his right side.
Let me see if you can, yeah, it's not broken.
Yeah, it's just sprained it. Just jammed it.
How does he they go, it's not broken, with the best medical advice. It's honestly the equivalent of watching some of these health gurus on YouTube be like,
You have a headache? Take some salt shit.
like, wait, what? You didn't even examine me. How do you know that's why?
Just take it.
Okay, Rhett is going first, and Chase is gonna be behind the pain wall, inflicting pain on a specific part of his body. Now, I'm gonna be watching only his face react to the pain, and then I'll say where I felt the sensation to see if it matches up.
How does that make
sense?
sense?
If it does, I get a point. At the end of this whole thing, this very scientific study, we'll know who is the better friend by who has the most points. You ready to get started?
Is this like testing their friendship telekinesis?
Give him the pain!
It's a whip!
Oh.
Don't do that.
Oh! Dang! Dang!
No! Oh. Oh! That's a real whip! That's not even a play whip!
Right in there, just a little tickle, just a little whippy whip on the back left calf.
Really?
Yeah.
It was my booty.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to tell.
If I go second.
No way, they're tasing one another? No, come on, we know that that's not good. I wish they would do this with themselves on the floor because it could actually paralyze and stun your muscles temporarily. So one of the biggest dangers of tasers is hitting your head on the floor from a fall. Oh, that looks so bad. See? I told you he was gonna fall.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, it hurt like crazy.
Most tasers these days, to have a cardiac issue, unless you're already predisposed to a cardiac issue, are very rarely causing cardiac injury. They're more so causing muscular injury or the injury from the fall, or skin injury.
My front tire, I think it just took a really hard, boom, right turn, right when it hit this divot, wham. And then it just
Flew forward.
tossed me.
Yeah.
I would say it slammed me more than tossed me
Ouch.
over the right side of the bike. My forward momentum took me over, and it happened so fast that I did not have time to get my right hand off the handlebar.
Isn't it amazing how humans have this natural reaction to always protect themselves with non-vital structures? Like when we fall, no matter what, we put our hands out. That's like automatic. You're not even thinking about it.
I was diving, and my right shoulder was
The first thing
Was-
we did.
Does he have a clavicular injury?
And so the first thing that hit was the top of my right
Feels like a
shoulder.
clavicle injury,
Bam!
collarbone.
Into the ground. The clavicle is broken, like right towards the end of it.
So remember, when we talk about injuries and trying to understand what the injuries are, the way he explained it was very good because I was able to deduct that it's a clavicle injury without knowing this whole story. And that's because the mechanism of injury is largely what's allowing us as doctors to understand what's happening.
Okay, we are here in Santa Monica at the Cryo Zone to test out the hottest new trend of cryotherapy.
Now that I've turned 40, I'm looking for anything to give me a reason to keep going. Maybe this will be it.
That's sad.
That's not sad. That's actually everyone who's aging. Everyone wants to turn back the clock. We're all seeking the fountain of youth. And I promise cryotherapy isn't the answer. The claims that they make at these cryotherapy centers are absolutely ridiculous. None of it's backed up by evidence.
So there will be a tendency for the machines to lower the blood pressure. So we are checking for very low blood pressure right now.
Wow,
141 over 75. So it's a little high, but that's good.
It's not good, and it's also incorrect because you took it as he's talking. He just walked in. He hasn't sat for 5 minutes. In fact, taking blood pressure the incorrect way leads to so many false diagnoses of hypertension. You need to know that when you're performing a blood pressure check, just because you have a high reading doesn't mean the person automatically is diagnosed with hypertension. It requires a little bit more than that.
So there is a waiver. I'll go over a few of those.
There is a waiver. If you die, ain't our fault.
It'll take about 30 seconds to reach the temperature it wants you to climb in at.
What temperature is that?
Negative 60 degrees. whenever
Negative
you're-
60 degrees?
Just about when you're entering, yeah.
And then what does it get down to?
It'll get down to negative 167 for your first time.
How is that possible and how is that safe?
The thing is, you're going into this minus 167 degree chamber. Don't you want to know why you're going into this chamber? We tested it and we saw that it may help with perception of pain, but then it doesn't really change anything about the function of the injuries. Then we tried to see, does it help with conditions of arthritis? It performs the same as putting like an ice pack on your arm. So why are you paying hundreds of dollars for a session like this and going into such extremes, putting your body into an extreme situation? It's an extreme that is largely unnecessary.
I don't feel like I should be in charge of getting in.
You're in now, buddy.
The FDA actually put out a warning saying there is nothing that this is medically useful for. Like there are no FDA approved uses for this thing. And it doesn't mean that not everything that doesn't have an FDA approved use doesn't work, but this thing especially doesn't work. Because they make it sound like it's a medical device.
Just the beginning. It'll take about 90 seconds to reach its peak temperature.
And I don't know if you noticed, the hype around cryotherapy has really dropped and it has changed to cold water plunges. Because what these researchers figured out was that you don't need to get the benefits of cold at minus 167 when your body runs at 98.6. You can get the same benefits going in a 40-degree bath. And then they realize they can't make money telling you that, so then they start selling you the bath as if their plunge thing is cooler than your actual bathtub. Just run the cool water.
4, 3,
Take me out.
2, and you are all done. Great job.
My nipples have never been this hard.
Your belly's turning red too.
Yeah, the reason why you get flushed after exposure to cold, the same thing happens when you put on an ice pack, is that your body goes to rewarm the area. So that flushing is normal. Like initially, we thought the reason to ice a sprain was to decrease the amount of blood flow going to the area, which would decrease edema, decrease swelling. And then we realized when you remove the ice pack, even more blood goes to that area. Maybe the benefit was that more blood was going to the area, not the fact that we shunted blood away for 15 minutes. In fact, there is debate in the medical community if icing is even valuable after a sprain.
I feel no pain at all. I didn't feel any pain before I got in there either.
They should have just edited that out. I guarantee you this place that he's going to is gonna use that as a reel for their promo and say, I don't feel any pain at all afterwards.
I don't even feel like I ever need to wear clothes again.
Not appropriate.
What this has done for me is it's shown me that the only thing a human needs is skin. We don't need clothes. We can just be people with skin. Skin is clothes.
Skin is clothes should be a tagline on one of their merch. What is happening? What am I watching? Is he just dropping Orbeez on his face? That's the thing? I was about to say, I'm worried about one of those going in his mouth. Are they edible? What's in an Orbeez?
My ear felt. Cut the music! Cut the music! Cut the music!
I can picture one of these gentlemen ending up in my office and being like, I got something in my ear. I'm like, oh, did you lose a piece of the Q-tip in there? Because you shouldn't have been using that. And they're like, nah, I got an Orbeez.
I got an Orbeez in my left ear! I can't get it out! Now don't push on the straw. Suck gently now.
Oh, this is so awkward.
Oh, why did you blow?
I didn't blow.
Did you blow?
No, I sucked, man.
You know what's funny? There's like this little snot sucker that we use for pediatric patients that the mom can use, and it actually filters the snot or something, or catches the snot. Here's a video of it if you haven't seen it.
You know what? I actually I do think it came out.
But the problem is they're getting all this water and fluid inside the ear. If they don't get it out well, you could develop something known as otitis externa, also known as swimmer's ear, where you get a nasty infection of the canal inside your ear, which is very painful. Like if you press on this area or you pull on this, it's so painful that you really need treatment for it, which are usually antibacterial drops or a combination of antibacterial and steroidal drops. Not fun. And people get this obviously from swimming, but also from washing their hair, dyeing their hair, swimming in Orbeez.
We are going to push our bodies as safely as possible to see which of us can pee the longest. It's time for when we just can't ignore nature's call any longer, we'll finally know who can pee most from their donger.
What?
Caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it promotes water loss through the urine.
I'll explain to you why coffee and sodas are not actually dehydrating. The chemical caffeine inside of them is a diuretic, but remember, most of what's inside a can, a cup, a bottle is water, it's fluid. So while you may be urinating more, you're also ingesting more fluids. The only time where this could become an issue is if you start taking caffeine pills where you're not also including fluid in there like you would with a cup of coffee.
Oh gosh, I can't.
I already have to pee.
And carbonated drinks, by the way, can be a trigger for bladder irritation. And there's certain lists of foods that I give to my patients who have a sensitive bladder as a form of potentially eliminating some of those foods, ideally to get their bladder under control. There are ways to trigger your bladder with certain foods, and carbonated beverages are one of them.
I really need to go, but I'm pinching it. Oh gosh.
Holding your pee for way too long could actually yield medical problems. I mean, obviously comes to mind a urinary tract infection, but you could also get in trouble with things like kidney stones, because when you don't have enough urine circulating, you can have urinary stasis, stretching out the bladder and causing damage to the bladder, because the bladder is a muscle, it's a muscular organ, and as a result, you can cause damage to it. There's also pelvic floor muscles that work in sync, allowing you to empty your bladder, and if you hold it for too long, you can actually cause damage there.
That was absolutely.
How long was that?
That was 2 minutes, 56 seconds.
That was
What? How long did he hold it? That's dangerous.
okay. So we wanted to see what happens when you drink those 400 milligrams of caffeine. That is the FDA okay daily amount, all in one.
That's not the, see, that's the problem. People see like maximal amount and they go, that's the okay amount. That's the max. So we don't say we recommend that amount. People go right to the max.
How will that affect the human body, the human mind?
I could tell you it's gonna cause palpitations, a feeling of anxiety, nervousness, fidgety, muscle aches, maybe a little delirium if you have enough.
Now you may be thinking, I drink like at least 5 of those when I'm like going through my games of a night.
What?
When I'm gaming or whatever it is. Well, listen, you have a problem.
Okay.
You do have a problem. It's not good for you, especially if you drink it close to bedtime. And some people will drink that amount of caffeine and say, I can still fall asleep. Yeah, but you're not getting restful sleep. You're not going through the proper stages of sleep. Your memory's gonna suffer the next day. You're not gonna feel refreshed when you wake up in the morning.
I feel like I'm accessing a different plane that's beyond all the Red Bull studies. Stevie, I would like you to think of a number between 1 and
334.
100.
Just it's on the screen now. But we can't see that.
For me, I was getting 71 or 17. It was.
My number was
Are you kidding me?
My number was 3.
Did you do something?
71! I freaking told you! I got 71!
Here's some of the craziest moments that went down on real live TV. Click here to check it out, and as always, stay happy and healthy.